Do you guys know what page I am on? Real quick, I am on the warm-ups page, which is right on the back of your stamp sheet. So your stamp sheet's there, warm-ups page is right there, and I'm looking at number 6 and 8. Okay, so number 6, I noticed that there are like terms on the right side. So I make my little arrows to show that I'm going to combine those. And I have -6 equals P minus 3P is -2P plus 4. Minus 4 from both sides. -6 minus 4 is -10 equals -2P. Divide by -2, 5 equals P. Quick question, did anybody do this ahead of time and get 5? Yes, okay. Just checking. All right, so right here, I'm going to say -6 equals 5 plus 4 minus 3 times 5. -6 equals 9 minus 15. That's a true statement. Okay. Number 8. So here's a fun question. Which one of these is lower, -7n or -8n? -8's lower, right? Okay, so I like to start with that one. I think the reason I like to start with that is just to keep the numbers positive more. That they're all negatives in this. I don't like it. -7n plus 8n. You can write n or you can write 1n. I don't mind either way. Plus 10. N equals 4. So I'll do my check here. -7 times 4 minus 10 equals -8 times 4 minus 6. So this is -38 equals -38. Perfect. Make sure that everybody gets that down and situated. And then if you could find last night's homework, the odd problems, I'm going to give you the answers to that next and go over. We have some mathematical debates going on about which answer is correct on some of those, which makes my day. Okay. I don't want to give you any spoilers. Here's the first 4. So small. Okay, number 1 is -3. Number 3 is -1. Number 5 is 13. Number 7 is -18. Number 9 is -4. Okay, those I don't know if those were the ones we were debating, but okay, there's the first few. And then number 11 is -5. Number 13 is -56. And number 15 is 2. negative 56 and 2. So we have problems like these on our quiz next week, which is our first quiz. Plug in the numbers and then do the order of operations. But you need to show every single step on those for full credit. I just want to make sure we're all clear on showing all of our work. Even if you have a calculator next to you, that's totally fine. I still want to see how you did it so I can make sure to tell you what happened correctly, what happened incorrectly. So just for test and quiz, want to make sure we all show everything. Okay, now going back to those, which ones would you like me to go over? Yes. 15. Let me see if I can unstick you from whatever. So I'm sure that I'll just start with, you wanted 13 also? Okay, I'll just start with 13 because my little brain is a linear thinker. So y is negative 5, and then I have absolute value zy. Okay, first thing I want to mention is that when you have two letters right next to each other, it's multiplication. So if you did not know that before, that probably would have been useful right now. Plus negative 6. Okay, does my plugging in look correct? Okay, now I'm going to do what's inside the grouping symbols first. So consider these to be like parentheses. So negative 5, absolute value, negative 10, plus negative 6. Okay, now I'm going to absolute value negative 10 and make that 10. And notice the negative 5 is just sitting outside with no operation symbol or anything. That means multiplication. So it's negative 5 times 10 plus negative 6, which is negative 50, minus 6, which is negative 56. What are anybody willing to say what they did? Yeah. Oh, so you got to think of it like negative 5x. And when that x is in parentheses, you multiply. I'm glad we went over that. Okay, now 15 looks spicy to me. I don't know about you, but it's got a fraction and everything. Okay, so 5 minus 3, oh, minus negative 5 times negative 3 over 3 plus absolute value of 5 and parentheses. Woo! That's a thing there. There's some stuff that's happening. Okay, so let's do this slowly. So we have 5 minus, I'm going to leave the 3 alone. And the first thing I'm going to change is that minus a negative into a positive. So I'm going to take that minus a negative and make it plus plus. And then on the top here, I'm going to multiply that to be negative 15 over 3. And then plus, and then absolute value of 5, keep it positive, is 5. I did 3 things in one step. Does anybody need me to go over my 3 things? Okay, now I'm going to do 5 minus 3. Okay, now this is, you can make this plus negative 5. These two cancel each other out. Yes, honey. Multiplication of these two. It's technically multiplication of -1 though, you're right. But the minus on the outside is subtraction. Anything you want to add about these two? Okay. Do you guys know what the homework is tonight? So finishing this page, doing the even one. Is there any other questions from this? I didn't mean to like just do the last two. You sure? Okay. All right. So now we're going to do something that you may never have done before. It's called the digital escape. We'll see. You're going to flip your paper over here and find this page. The digital escape we're going to do is evaluating functions. I'm not going to do the whole thing with you. I'm going to get you going, and then you guys are going to work on this in your groups. Each puzzle has 4 problems. I like to split my puzzles up into 4 little boxes. Not required. I'm a giant nerd and I like colored pens and being organized. That's just me, but you do not have to do that if you don't want. But I do want you to know that each puzzle has 4 different problems. Okay, so what I need you to do is get out your school Chromebook. If you do not have your school Chromebook with you, it is totally okay. You can share between partners or share at a table. It will totally work for you today. You will have to submit this on Google Classroom at some point, but it does not have to be this minute. Okay, and I want you guys to go here. To our Google Classroom. And you can see the first thing on the list there that I posted is a new assignment called Evaluating Functions Digital Escape. Oh no, that's the teacher version. Here we go. Should look like this. And I click into that and it's a Google form. Okay. The first thing you need to do is put your name in, and then it lets you onto the next screen, which has the first puzzle, which I'm going to display here. So if you guys could get to the point where you see the first puzzle, that would be great. Oh, totally. So if you do not have your Chromebook, it's no big deal at all. You can share in your group, write down the math on your paper, and then you just go into Google Classroom later when you have your Chromebook and enter the codes in and then submit your assignment. But you only really need one per group so you can see the problems. And entering the codes in will only take you like 2 minutes. It's no big deal. Okay. So this is the first puzzle, and I need to explain to you what it's saying. So these are function machines like we did when you guys had your little cards and you were putting them in order with the input and output. And it's giving you three function machines. It's giving you f of x equals x squared, g of x equals x plus 5, and h of x equals 4x. Okay, and what this is telling you, it says evaluate f of -5. That means take -5 and plug it into the one that's labeled f. So this guy here in yellow is f. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so we're going to start puzzle one. It says evaluate f of -5. So I'm going to write on my paper f of -5. And then I drop -5 into the function machine that was x squared. So it's -5 squared. Let me show you that again. So you can see where I got that from. That's the one in yellow up here that's labeled f. See the difference? F, G, H. Okay, and then -5 times -5 is positive 25. Okay, then what I do is I go back to the screen and I find the answer. The answer is C. Do you guys see that? Okay, and then I write C as the first letter in my code. The codes all have 4 letters, all caps, no spaces. So don't put spaces between them. And then once we figure out all 4, then we'll be able to go to the next puzzle. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, this one says number 2, this is a light blue, g of -12. I'm going to write that down on my paper in the second box, g of -12.
This looks like you're trying to describe a step in solving a math problem. It seems you're indicating that you will evaluate a function, g at the value -12, and write the result in a specific location on your paper.
It's not wrong. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. You guys ever have that happen when you like just talk about something in your family and then like shows up on your YouTube in like crazy amounts? Anyway, it happens to me all the time. Anyway, so okay, now we have g of -12. They told us to do, and I realize I might be like making this too much of this, but which function up there should I plug it into? G of x, right? But this says G, so I want to plug it into the one that says G. Just want to make sure, because yesterday we didn't have like 3 of them going at once. Okay, so I'm going to do x plus 5. So I'm going to do -12 plus 5. I want to know whose phone that was real bad. Probably. Okay, now does anybody know what answer letter that was? I. Okay. So the next letter of my code is I. Are you guys getting the hang of it? Do you want to do the first puzzle together and then I'll let you go on the second one? Or do you guys want to go now? Who wants more assistance? Who wants less assistance? No one cares much. All right, I'm gonna let you go just because I'm super curious about my telephone. But as soon as you guys submit this or your team is done, bring it over and I can stamp you today if you like. I don't think this should take forever. Also, you can split up the work too.